will tell you the last 2 years I've really embraced coming out of what I was expected to be. So I'm really into, I love sales and I love training, I love people, but I wasn't fulfilled. And so I realized why. And it was just because it was the vehicle. I think I'm supposed to be around people and touch people, but not in the traditional way. And I think that still hits hard for me, because your comfort zone is your comfort zone. And out of your comfort zone, even if you know you're being called to something greater, it's still a little uncomfortable. So there's that process as well, which I'm glad you asked me. I've always been a seeker though, always.
I love it. I love it. And with seeking comes the openness for life to evolve. And just like you described, and because I was there as well, like working in sales jobs, and the lack of freedom in corporate America wasn't really for me.
Right.
I prefer to do what I want when I want, anytime I want, is kind of my flow. And so that wasn't for me, but I was so open to, as a seeker as well, I was just open for the universe, God, source, love, all that is to bring me whatever it is that I could get behind and like really enjoy. Because like in my life journey, like I thought I was going to be doing something totally different. I thought I was gonna be a pro athlete. And then all of a sudden, like when that didn't happen, early 20s, like, I'll be happy when syndrome kicked in, and, trying to outside seek, trying to manipulate things so that I could feel good on the inside, which we know that very well. And so, but just because I always had that openness and I didn't think I knew it all, and still don't and never will, I was able to have some things that, move me into the direction. And I really want to hit on something that you just inspired me to just remind the audience, because as long as we can be open, to allowing life to evolve, you may be doing something out there right now where you're like, this definitely is not the end all be all for me. Like maybe you're in a job that you're not, so happy with, or a relationship that you're not so happy with. And just being open to allowing life to evolve. There are things that you're experiencing at that job or in that relationship, or maybe with a health challenge or any area of life that might not be exactly as you may want it to be right this moment. You'll be able to look back on these things, whether it be, a few months from now, a year from now. I look back on so many things and be like, wow, I see why I was experiencing that. Because again, I evolved in such a way to where now I'm utilizing all those lessons and those evolutions now. And without those, I wouldn't be able to be doing what I'm doing now. So you find that as a part of your journey, I'm sure, as well, when it comes to...
Oh, totally. And and it's so funny because I say this with a lot of respect to what my old career was and what I was doing. It's because it really created the confidence for me to be able to speak publicly. Like whatever you go through, it's part of your path. It's still spiritual. So it's still part of that innate process, right? You need to condition just to be conditioned. Does that make sense? So that, like, especially, of course, like if you're a free spirit or if you're more of an old soul, the corporate environment, the way that it is now, isn't really conducive to that spirit. So that I always say, like, hopefully it'll change. A lot of things are happening in the world right now that we're waking up to. And I'm really happy because the people that maybe weren't even willing to be open and spiritual like we are now really getting a taste of what it means to just see things differently. Even if it's like a small taste, right? Because I do believe, like I always tell people, the people that I want to attract into my life as far as like clients and to be able to help are the people that are the most skeptical. Because it's those people that I just want to show the practicality of what it means to be open and spiritual versus, people have assumptions, right? People have assumptions about what it means to be spiritual or in this world, right? So I think like we went the traditional route just to go untraditional.
Absolutely. I love what you just hit on. And, all of us, like when we're open to new awarenesses and, spirituality or whatever the case may be, like it'll arrive to us like right when we're ready to utilize it. And one thing that I noticed about just the global challenges that we've had as a collective in 2020, because especially with the initial, like with the coronavirus and people not being able to do as many external things, and still like there are some things externally like in the world outside that we can't do the same as we did prior. It's forced people, not forced, but a lot of people, their only option was to go within and to start, generating happiness from without needing the external things. And, for those that have been able to do that, there's been huge growth, for people, because that's really one of the biggest light bulb moments that any of us could have is, wait a minute, like, because I was like the best in the world at, let me manipulate the external. Like if things are going good at the job, or if things are going good in the relationship, or, if the health is going how I like it, then I'm going to feel good. And if I perceive them not to be, then I'm not going to feel so good. So life was just always this roller coaster ride. And once we discover, wait a minute, what is happening in the external, in my reality and in the collective is reflecting from what's going on internally. That's such a big breakthrough for any of us. And then life becomes more about, well, I can be happy now, regardless of the external. And then when I go do things that externally I enjoy, I can bring that already happy now energy to it. And then it's an even more enjoyable experience.